She forgot what I alliance, yeah. So we base the strength on. Got the new 38, 7 inches length long. Yeah, double handle on a rifle grip. Yeah, yeah, I'm bad. Never on a Michael tip.
Retro got back, and I don't know if you guys have been living under a rock for the last 24 hours, but if you haven't,
rapper Lil Nas X had a hell of a weekend, releasing a limited line of 666 Satan shoes, custom Nike sneakers that have a drop of human blood in them. Nike's suing for copyright infringement.
They say that this damages their brand, that it dilutes their brand, and people are confused.
Lil Nas X released those sneakers along with a new video that now has 34 million views. We know the sneakers sold out in less than a minute. But of course there's a lot of controversy here. Pastor Mark Burns tweeting, "This is evil and heresy."
They've got a pentagram on top. They've got a reference to Luke 10:18, which is a Bible verse about Satan falling from heaven. And it's got blood in its soul. It's red ink mixed with a drop of human blood. Mischief confirmed to me that it's actually blood from their own team yesterday. And it was announced over Palm Sunday weekend. This is a really holy week for many, many people.
well, I'll tell you one thing, album sales gonna be wicked this year.
The music video that you're referencing used a lot of biblical imagery to kind of make a metaphor for Lil Nas X's coming out story and the idea that he was taught homosexuality was a sin and choosing to fall from heaven because he wanted to live as who he was.
Backing himself up, defending his choice. What are we hearing?
He's been tweeting. He said yesterday on Twitter that the shoes are hard. You can't sit here and deny that the shoes are hard. He
they kinda hard
been tweeting
still.
that he's been planning this for months. He also kind of tweeted
Anyone who says no publicity is bad publicity, he's certainly getting a lot of attention today.
You guys have missed some major shit going down. In the last 24 hours, Lil Nas X has dropped a video called MONTERO, Call Me By Your Name, featuring some of the craziest demonology, demonistic, demon 666 satanic visuals that have dropped in quite some time. And I mean, people are shocked. The internet's going crazy. What the f? No. Now, mind you, this isn't the first time that we've seen a pop artist or a rock artist basically play off of the whole satanic stuff. Metallica, Rolling Stones, all of these guys, they had like satanic, demonistic stuff, and a lot of metal bands do that too, but it's kind of just out of left field from Lil Nas, you know what I mean? After this video released a collab with the sneaker customizing company MSCHF, and you have to take a look at these shoes, man. They're absolutely insane. I'll show you some clips, but actually you can probably see them here. I'll put them up on the screen for you guys. They actually feature a drop of blood from some of the employees in each shoe. So there was only 666 pairs made, and they were sent out to various people, including influencers, some sneaker influencers. And obviously I'll show you guys clips of the actual sneaker itself. It features a red ink dye that's meant to have it's meant to be like simulated blood or whatever. So
-7 of 666 pairs. You get that Luke 10:18, which again is the concept of I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Then you have the pendant of the Lil Nas Mischief, I saw Satan. Pretty crazy. This liquid in the sole is creepy, man. Like, it low-key makes me kind of sick. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
It actually has one of those 5-point, it's pentagram or something like that. Yeah, it got a gold pentagram on it, and it's like, this is the same company that released those Jesus Walking on Water Air Max 97s. I think it was last year, and I wonder what would happen if they released these first and the Jesus ones afterwards. That would have been crazy. This is a really good marketing tactic and really good scheme to hype up these shoes. They're going for over 1,000 slaps, so that's actually crazy. You got some $1,000 sneakers, and they actually did an insane job on the boxing and unboxing experience. The box itself has all kinds of crazy artwork. I didn't actually get to see the Jesus Walks box, so I don't know exactly what that looks like personally. So we already had such a controversial year to begin with. We had the trophy room fiasco that went out. You know what I mean? I didn't even talk about that because everybody covered it so quickly. The botting scandal, and so much stuff is happening in this year. This is one of the most crazy years for sneaker releases and sneaker drops. This collab is going to be like extremely sought after. They're not going to be, there's only 666 pairs. Like, that's it. They're $1,000 now, but tomorrow they're going to be 20,000 based off of the news coverage. So NBC and even the Canadian, what's big when Canadian news is covering it, okay? So Nike brand does not want to be associated with anything satanic or occult. So that's kind of the stance they're obviously taking, and they're taking it very seriously. This is such a highly controversial shoe. I'm wondering how MSCHF is going to handle this, because they're just a sneaker customizer. They're not actually affiliated with Nike in any sort or any way. So I don't know how they're going to deal with that, man. They might be the end of MSCHF, or they might have limitations on this type of stuff that they can customize in the future. But it's like art at the same time, so it's freedom of expression, no? Yo, you know what the worst part about this shoe is it kind of looks grimy on foot, yo. I can't even lie. Don't tell my grandma I said that, though. I know these were meant to be more of a showpiece, but like, who's gonna put those on foot and walk around? Like, I dare a man to put those on and walk through a church and see if you don't get Kirk Franklin stomp. These might end up being the most expensive Air Max 97s that have ever released, at least customized wise. One gotta wonder, aren't you worried about getting DNA cloned or somebody taking your DNA or something like that? I heard of putting blood, sweat, and tears into your craft, but goddamn, like, I hope all that blood didn't come from one of those MSCHF employees. Could you imagine? He's sitting there, you're sitting there putting the blood in the mid number 555, number 556. Yeah. If you're a MSCHF employee, I applaud you, okay? Or I don't know if it's like a group of people or if it's one or two dudes, but Nike's actually asking for damages to the company's reputation, as well as having the shoes destroyed physically. They don't want those things even on the planet. They want them gone completely. Let me know, do you guys have the balls to go cop those shoes, and would you pay the 1,000 slaps to get them? And even if you did, would you be a little bit creeped out to have them in your closet staring at you? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Next thing, your bed just starts moving on some Blair Witch shit. I ain't ready for all that. Well, now it would seem that Nike's in quite a bit of a pickle, because if you think about it, on one hand, if they don't do something about the whole satanic imagery and outlash from the religious community, that could be a problem. But at the other hand, I'm sure there's a portion of the community that's gonna feel like it's a hit directly to the LGBTQ plus community as well. So MSCHF, I don't know, man. You guys got a little bit of backing, but you also, you know what I'm saying? And Nike's put in a weird situation on this one. That's actually a really strange scenario, and I'm wondering how that's gonna play out, because on one hand, Nike gotta protect their brand and their image, but at the same time, they gotta tread carefully, because I'm sure that a large portion of their shoes come from the LGBTQ plus community. Tell you one thing that I do know for certain, you can't be bringing these in the house with no West Indian parents. You know what kind of licks a man will get for those? Like, can you imagine the epic level whoopings a man will get? Yo, can you, what kind of, we are bringing on the house? What? Them kind of ones. Anyways, if you're an avid shoe collector, I mean, go ahead, do your thing, like, whatever. But if you're living at home and you got some West Indian parents, I highly suggest you stay away from those. Refrain from bringing those into the front door. Refrain from making them see them in the closet. Like, you want to live to see the next day. Don't do it. Don't do it, fam. I don't do it. Anyways, in other news, as we know, it's like a constant war between Nike, Reebok, the bots, the Foot Locker, Champs, whatever and what have you. But, you know, it's getting kind of interesting, and I've started to realize something, that Canada doesn't kind of always get left out of the loop as we always assume. I'm starting to notice that we get some exclusive European drops, some stuff that even the Europeans can't get, like the Berlin Lows and a special shoe that I'm going to show you guys real soon. But basically, man, I'm telling you, Canada gets some rare stuff, but you got to stay on top of them apps, you got to stay on the websites, and you guys got to, like, it's like one of them you got to check every day. So for instance, last night they literally dropped the Royal Toes again. Just randomly yesterday morning, they dropped the Royal Toes. They dropped also, they had a raffle for the Fire Red 4s, and there's just a random raffle, and if you seen it and you were there to hit, you were there to hit. And that's kind of how it goes. We get these random, super random options to buy, and once they're gone, they're gone. I noticed that the Omni ones actually dropped way ahead of time, even before Reebok dropped them, maybe a month ahead of time. Sold out instantly. I thought they were gonna sit because not many people like 90s retros like I do, but apparently I was wrong. Maybe sneaker news is starting to pick up, man. I'm gonna have to start doing these What's Really Good episodes more commonly because there's so much happening from sneaker bots buying up everything, you know what I mean? CEOs dropping out. Head figures in the sneaker culture are found out to be crooked or have some shady dealings, but I mean, which one of who doesn't, you know what I mean? You gotta be realistic these days. Everybody got a side hustle. But what do you guys think of those demon shoes? Do you think, like, I don't know, man, there's so much to be said about those, but I mean, if you're into those, you should be into the Jesus Walks joints too. I don't know, it is what it is, but I ain't about to put those on my feet, I'll tell you that much. Even those, I don't care what they look like on foot, man. I ain't putting no pentagram. Fuck, can you imagine wearing them shoes and walking down the street by yourself? The first shadow, the first thing that you see is gonna freak you out, man. You're gonna be sorry you wore those.